This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD Show.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
This is episode 168 of the IT.
That is our mics going right into the red immediately.
No, we are broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. We have an awesome show lined up today. We have Christian in the house from a cool new startup in downtown Detroit called Groupknit. And then we also, hold on to your seats and hats and things. We have the entire Detroit cast of Oxygen TV's Last Squad Standing. This is going to be a crazy show.
Pray for us.
Dave, you may fire one ready.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
You're listening to the IT in the D Show.
Hi, it's Count Chocula, and you're listening to IT in the D. Whatever the hell that is.
Just where do you guys think you are? The Library of Congress? Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
I dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT in the D.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly.
Come on. Tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
Hi, this is Ralph Macchio, and you're listening to IT in the D Show. Wax on, you know what.
Bob loves it in the can.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Yes, Sensei!
Are we at a break yet?
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds? Nerds.
Nerds!
What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. The IT and the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear, I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
That's why I like it in the can.
Which kind of scares the shit out of me.
Shut up, Barry.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. I'm a techie. I'm a nerd, fellow podcaster. My favorite podcast is IT in the D.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big. It's way too big. We got screwed at the same time. Yeah.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop? We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
This is Robert Hayes, a Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat steak.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guy. Ho!
My name is Michael Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Man. You're listening to IT in the D. Com.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
A smart toaster broke the internet. There is going to be a steel cage match between TIE Fighter Dog and Chewbacca Mom, and we are live. This is the IT and the D show. We've all hit episode 168, broadcasting here in Podcast Detroit. Beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy hanging out with Dave the Geek. Nuri the FNG is in the house.
Hey, y'all, I'm back.
And coherent.
And I've got most of my voice. It's kind of great.
Find us online, ITintheD.com. Give us a like on the Facebook. Follow us on the Twitter. Shout out to Randy and Ian for keeping the links up to date on Twitter. And do us a favor. Leave us a damn review on iTunes. Nobody likes us.
Are we stuck at another number this week?
Yes, nobody likes us.
And hey, everybody. Bob ran his first show today.
Yay! 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 I feel like special ed from Crank Yankers. I made podcast. Yay! Hey, we got a great show. Segment 2. We're going to be joined by the founder of Groupknit. Christian is a cool startup downtown. Kind of your one app guide.
The app is Groupknit.
Yeah.
Christian is the guy from
Groupknit. I know.
It's just the way
Christian Groupknit.
Yeah.
No.
I would not join one of those ever.
It's not like Christian Mingle.
His name is Christian. His name is Christian. And then the last segment, where it's going to be pandemonium and chaos and mass confusion and dogs and cats living together.
Yeah.
As we have the entire cast, the Detroit cast of The Last Squad Standing from the Oxygen Network.
And if you haven't checked it out yet, the best way that I've come to describe it is that it's Survivor meets the dating game meets Big Brother, and it's a Detroit team, a Baltimore team, and a Jersey team. Just let that all sink in.
Wait, so I get kicked off the island while they're filming me pee?
Pretty much, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, the first episode, the screener was pretty, wow. Yeah.
Whoa. Is Julie Cheng in it or no?
No. No, that's CBS.
Oh.
Yeah, no. So as Bob alluded to, Bob, how's your Nest thermostat doing?
Fine.
How's that going?
Good.
With punching a giant gaping hole in your firewall.
No.
So that a botnet can take it over and take down the freaking internet Friday.
So
that was awesome.
So it's going to turn up my temperature? So it's going to turn up my temperature? Great. I'm going to be fine.
Wait, hold on a second. So the Nest thermostat was actually
No, it was one of the, I don't remember what smart home app it took over, but people were like coming home and their garage doors were open and they didn't push the button and they couldn't close it, and like the dumb, like the stuff was, no one could get in their apps to do their smart home stuff.
Well, it wasn't just smart home stuff. It was like Reddit was down for a while, YouTube was down, like half of the shit at work didn't work. They say it may have been the largest attack on the internet that's ever happened.
Well, here's my thing. It took down the DIN DNS network.
Yeah,
right.
And
because they were going after the root servers. I mean, and that's
every
the
techie
smart
I
way to
saw,
do it.
like, why aren't you running redundant DNS and using OpenDNS and Google DNS, and then you don't have to worry about anything?
Well, see, that's the problem. Is like when you attack, you can't take down the entire internet, right? There's too many tubes. But basically, going after a DNS provider is like basically saying, "Hey, phone book, go to hell."
Right.
Because they can, because for people who don't know back at home, you type in google.com, it resolves to a series of numbers, which actually is what routes you to the internet.
Yeah, your computer does. Computers only know IP addresses. Think of them as phone numbers.
It's not a place where this is not your bathroom. That's not your IP address,
right? No matter what photos we've posted before. But it's and then you type in Google. Computers don't understand Google.
Results like 216.151. whatever.
Right,
yes.
and so your DNS is that translation engine between what humans type in and what computers understand. So and we've always talked about that. I mean, there are basically 11 rings to rule them all. There are 11 root DNS servers that effectively control the entire internet.
Now, what did this have anything to do with the?
No, I can't think. No.
I just wanted. I figured people would would ask.
What's scary though, this botnet software though is like it doesn't require an intelligent person to use. They released the code for this botnet on the dark web earlier this month, and security experts were like, "Holy shit, this is going to be big." And basically, some 14-year-old in his basement could have done this because the code is easy to use and does not require any skill at all.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Well, we've talked about this. God, we just talked about this with the CIO and CTO of the state of Michigan when we were down at the Cyber Summit.
Right.
That's kind of the problem these days. Is Back in my day.
So does for 5 cents.
Yeah. Well, a hacker was someone who went out and explored and usually left a nice little text file somewhere that said, oh, by the way, admin, here are all the holes that I used to get in. You might want to patch these.
I rooted your shit.
Right.
But I've been nice about it.
Yeah.
And yes.
Now you have, that was, what's a hacker? What's a cracker? And then so now you've got all these 14-year-old kids that can go download all this stuff on the internet. They don't have to understand the ramifications of what they're doing.
Script kiddies.
Exactly. They can just do.
Their claim to fame is now, I got an article on BuzzFeed written about me. I did it.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like if you're watching South Park this season, it's a Skank Hunt 42.
Right.
He got mentioned on CNN, which is the glory of his life.
They're still doing a beautiful job with this year's election. They really, really, truly are.
They've spun in a way I didn't even think was possible.
Yeah.
Those cartoon dicks, though.
Dude, I don't know how.
Wiener's out. I lost it.
I don't even know how they get away. Like how did that? Because I've seen the documentaries and that kind of stuff. I've seen the specials. Like the censors are like their worst mortal enemies. And so they always try to come up with code words to get things past the censors. But how do you get 4th grade wieners? I don't even know anymore. I God bless them.
I totally lost my mind when it was the end of was it 2 episodes ago where Cartman's like, so do vaginas really have balls at the bottom?
Yes.
And the girl's like, can I show you mine?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like, where's Chris Hansen when you need him?
You just won today, South Park.
Hey, Bob, there was some sort of a TV thing happened last night. Did you hear about it?
Yeah.
Apparently, The Walking Dead came back, and everybody's losing their mind. And I love the meme that's now floating around where it's people died on The Walking Dead, and then underneath it's Hogan in the wrestling ring. It's fake, right?
Right.
I saw an article on some major news source that said, "Has The Walking Dead finally gone too far?" And it was the #1 trending article about that. So,
dude, it was brutal.
It,
I'm not gonna lie, it was for a show about zombies eating people, it was hands down the most graphic, over the top. You had, Negan carries around a baseball bat.
No, Batman's dad. That's right.
Batman's dad carries around a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, named Lucille. That he uses to crack people over the head with, and they showed it. Like the special effects guys were in their full glory last night because there was some what you would expect would happen when you crack somebody over the head with a bat like that at full swing, dude. Amazing.
So let me get this straight though, people are mad and they're sad because their characters are dead on their show they watch.
I'm gonna miss them so much.
Yeah.
Who killed JR?
Yeah, which is even worse than Rodney Dangerfield died. It'll never be the same. Really? Caddyshack still works.
Right.
I can still push play.
I watched season 1 if you want to see Glenn again. Right. You really cared.
Real quick, I want to thank Randy for he actually just sent me a link to the source code to the botnet that took down the internet on Friday.
Boy.
It's on GitHub.
Yay.
So Randy Walker on Twitter sphere. The police will show up at your house in about an hour.
Stay away from my nest.
Ding.
Right. But what people get so emotionally it's a damn show. Han Solo died at the end. I'm gonna cry. It was who cares?
It's and that was part of it. You had the cliffhanger, at the end of last season. You knew somebody was going to die, the way they left it. And it was, you knew this was coming.
Was it one of those nobody expected that person to die ever kind of things?
No, because it could have been much worse.
Okay.
It could.
I thought it was going to be Coral. Coral.
Yeah.
And it was, wasn't Coral the one that died in the comic book? That's why I figured they'd follow.
No, lost a hand.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. No, Glenn died in the graphic novel.
All right.
But yes, it was, it was, wow.
And the guy from Grosse Point Blank.
Yeah.
These are my words.
These are my words. I'll say them to you. So one of the ones, we talk about this stuff every now and then, and casinos have them, and some other, but apparently the FBI is sitting on a facial recognition database that has 117 million people in it already.
And to break that down by the numbers, that's roughly 50% of the population of the United States.
Over 18, yeah. Well, yeah, it's like so like 320 million people total, but yeah, the over 18 population. Yeah, why? Why you need to have photo?
Well, you
Why?
think about it when you take a picture on the Facebook and it already tags all your friends. And you're like, how does the Facebook know if my face that's sideways
And that's
sticking my
private.
tongue out?
That's private company, too.
Right.
Which, I mean, if a private company can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Bet you Facebook's just licensing all the photos to the FBI.
Why wouldn't they? And then everybody's doing it. Like now, oh yeah, get your DNA checked to see if you got any American Indian in you.
Dude, I'm stunned that anybody does that. I really like the
people would pull out their molar.
23andMe and
But it can tell me if I'm predisposed to a bunch of diseases and stuff.
Right. Yeah, everybody like gets their little swab kit and mail. Yeah, who you mailing that off to?
Answer who my dad is.
Just send in a molar and we'll send you your information. Give me some pliers, honey. I gotta find out if I got some German in me. Like seriously, like this shit's like 1984. They're laughing. They're all laughing. Like my damn Amazon Echo is listening to me ask for Funyuns and Jägermeister, and I'm sitting in my DNA, and Facebook knows my face, and you know.
That's right. Democracy dies not with a bang,
with thunderous applause, and we're paying for it.
Right, for every single piece of it.
Speaking of paying for it, AT&T's got a big checkbook these days, huh?
Apparently, yeah. Speaking of what can possibly go wrong, they're going to buy Time Warner. Apparently,
and if you don't know everything that's involved with Time Warner,
CNN, HBO, all the affiliates,
and the most important one, AOL.
They can have all the dead people's email addresses.
Verizon was trying to buy AOL.
Well, AT&T's got them now.
Jeez. Also, DC Comics. So they're acquiring Batman.
Oh, great.
What's even funnier, though, is I heard that AT&T called Time Warner to acquire them and basically had to sit on hold for a freaking hour. True story. I feel like David Letterman right there for a second there. True story.
Have you read about this? Have you heard about it?
A representative will be with you shortly.
Your call is important to us. Please continue to hold.
Oh, my God. I had the worst call wait time ever. So, you know how I own the VW diesel? Mm-hmm. And they got the court settlement? And I wanted to call them because I scanned all my paperwork and I just want to make sure it went through. The callback time would be 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like they will call you back. I didn't even remember I called them. Then I get a phone call. I'm like, what's this restricted number crap? And it's VW. I go, why are they calling me?
I honestly do like that places do that now. That they have the whole, instead of leaving your phone on for the next 2 hours, we'll call you back when your turn in line comes up. I like that.
You think it's altruistic, but they're actually saving toll costs. Just think about that. So no longer are you tying up one of their inbound toll-free numbers and their circuits and things like that. It's
a win-win.
It is.
I'm good with that. It's a win-win.
Virtual Hold Technologies created that.
Virtual Hold?
Yeah, Virtual Hold.
HOLD.
It's the Virtual Hold Technology. Whole different business.
And NT.
Right.
And NT.
One of the funniest stories is, so I'm a big Grand Theft Auto fan. I'm not going to lie. I've been a fan of the whole series. Well, apparently they created a mod where instead of the sticky bomb, it became a Galaxy 7 Note.
Yes.
And it blew up all the things. And Samsung wasn't pleased.
It's brilliant.
And made them change it.
Made them pull it.
Which is like, boo.
How do you do that? How do you submit like a copyright claim to YouTube to pull down something you don't like?
I think because they were using their, like, it was actually Samsung. It wasn't like the beer called Piss Water.
Yeah, no, it was
German double S.
Galaxy Note 7.
It was a play, like, you used my...
Yeah, they weren't smart enough to make it like the...
Schmalaxy.
The universe,
right.
Boat 7. Yeah, no, they weren't that smart. I'm curious about the legality of this, and I feel like it's at least worth making a mocking mention of.
Making cows eat seaweed so they fart less, that one?
This is actually very close to that, where Madonna hopped on stage during an Amy Schumer concert and announced that anyone voting for Hillary Clinton, she will give oral sex to.
Yeah.
And proceeded to describe in graphic detail how good she is at it, that she provides a lot of eye contact, that she's really, really into it. I just I hope someone told her that. I wish someone would have told her this isn't the 80s.
Oh, come on, you guys wouldn't?
No, now I almost feel like I need to vote for Trump.
Conspiracy.
Because Madonna's what?
60.
So late, but this isn't like Suzanne Summers at 60. This isn't, Christy Brinkley at 60. This is Madonna at 60.
Googling Madonna recent picture.
Yeah. Very kind of looks like Skeletor. Not
the $1 million question is, will she take her dentures out? Whoa. So let's talk about, you were talking about obviously with the election coming up, there's an article came out, and it's kind of scary with the whole anonymous thing with a whole bunch of groups coming out, talking about how susceptible the voting machines are to simple hacking, even, like the botnet that's sitting on GitHub.
Oh, yeah.
That these are old, antiquated, they're almost laughable to the hacking community. Now, what did they say? You can simply it's almost like crashing a Commodore bulletin board system like back in the 80s.
It's like the first generation of like slot machines, that if you had like a light generator, you could fake them into giving you a jackpot almost every time. And that was one of the earliest hacks of Vegas. They're very easy to reset. They're very easy. It's like there was an episode of
so basically the guy can be, it's a device you can find online. And he basically says you can insert it, and then it resets the card, and now I'm able to vote again. So the dude can sit up there and run 50 votes.
Yeah.
And as soon, without using fake ID, and go to the next polling station, he can do it right there, like they normally used to do.
Vote early, vote often.
Get on the bus. Yeah, exactly. Go to the next polling station. They're just putting a card in.
Speaking of which, good news, Republicans finally believe Osama bin Laden is dead, because he showed up as a registered Democratic voter in Chicago. But no, so, it is. And that's one of those things that, there's going to be mayhem.
They said 40 states are using voting machines that are at least 10 years old.
Yeah.
So just think of all the flaws that it's like basically what Windows XP, basically.
Yeah.
Woof.
And that's assuming that they had upgraded from 98 and all that. Well, God, what was it? The vast majority of ATMs in the nation are still running OS2 Warp.
Or XP embedded.
Well, they said they're showing right now there's 9,000 voting districts across the country. All have different processes. All of them. There's no standardized anything.
Well, that makes them
anywhere.
less susceptible to hacking, right, Bob?
Right. Well, yeah. If you don't have a ubiquitous system, who knows? Have we gotten so bad in society with conversation?
I'm guessing yes.
That someone at Facebook thought it's a good idea to have conversation starters on Messenger. Like, hey, Jim, how about the weather there? Hey, Pete.
It's going to get creepy.
Did you watch the Texans game last night?
You checked into the Grand Canyon last week. How was that trip? I kind of like it.
Really?
It doesn't freak me out at all, no.
But couldn't you just type it? Why did they have to type it for you?
I thought they weren't typing it for you. They were giving you as a suggestion.
As a suggestion.
Topic.
Yeah. And you click it. And then it's kind of like the poop emoji. It's just like
it's just there.
I love that emoji. That makes me so happy.
It's good.
Yeah. So I got really bored a couple weeks ago and renamed our chat, renamed Bob, renamed Dave, and then put a little poop emoji as our instead of the like button, it's a poop emoji. So yeah,
as it should be.
But talking about Facebook though, so a little underhandedness that was kind of interesting. So we had talked about this a couple weeks ago that it's now known. That the FBI, police departments, that sort of thing, use some social media combing tools in order to track suspects. They don't need warrants. They just go off and do the stuff.
We ain't found shit.
People. Yeah, that's right. Comb the desert. Well, there's one in particular. I want to make sure I get this right. So it was Geophedia. That I guess got raised up to Facebook's attention as being the most widely used, and so they cut off its API access. The only problem with that is that the story broke somebody came out 2 days later and said, oh, by the way, Facebook uses Geophedia because here's the break-in that they solved using, the software that's, using Geophedia software. This is how they caught the culprit.
So they used the software, but they stopped the software from being used against them.
Yeah, somebody actually broke into Mark Zuckerberg's office to steal something and then took a picture while they were in there and posted it to social media. I think that's how it worked. And then their corporate security were there in 5 minutes. Serious.
So it's kind of like last week with the ad blocker to stop the ad blocker.
Yeah.
Blocker.
Yeah, there's the blocker to block the ad blocker.
Right.
And then you have the blocker to block the blocker for the ad blocker.
Right.
And then, it's a vicious arms race. We always love these stories. People running for office.
Which one? Feeding cows seaweed so they don't fart so much?
I love that story. I totally agree with you.
Honestly, it's again very close.
Right.
Somebody figured out that the Republicans, the RNC, had not registered votefortrumppence.com.
Oh, no.
And so if you go to votefortrumppence.com.
Number 4, FOR.
No, FOR. It's a software developer who bought the domain Flipping the Bird.
Just kidding. Oh, that's freaking brilliant.
How many domains? Like, if you're running for anything,
all of them.
Like,
all of them.
You have like 300 variances.
And you just all DNS alias them to your name. Yes.
.pub. Oh my God, that's awful.
Showing the picture in the studio for all you following it along at home.
He's like a Reddit hero, probably.
Oh, I'm sure buy that guy a beer. Hey, if you listen to our show, I'd buy you a beer.
I remember that. I don't know if it's so we used to have a wide receiver in Detroit called Mike Williams, and we drafted him number 10 overall over Sean Merriman, and it caused a ruckus in the Detroit Lions community. Just work with me here.
Okay.
But he had bigmikewilliams.com. Well, guess who he forgot to register, and guess who bought that domain? And then I put it to you as the suck meme when you went to it with like the fat guy at the half court, and I did a really fake MS Paint and put his head on the fat guy's head in center court, and I laughed.
Hypothetically speaking?
Hypothetically, yeah, it wasn't me.
Speaking.
Oh, some guy I know.
Hypothetically speaking, DetroitApplebee's.com. We don't talk about that much anymore.
Does that still work?
Yeah, it still works.
Oh my God.
It's still out there. Bob, cows. Go ahead.
Cow farts?
Go ahead.
So apparently, the single greatest threat to humanity on this planet is cow farts.
It's actually really serious.
Methane, yeah.
I want to meet somebody and say, so, what do you do for a living there, Bill? And he's like, I study cow farts.
Using lasers.
And its effect on the ozone. And they fart a lot and it's bad. And global warming and stuff. So we have to stop cow farts. So somebody said, okay, let's feed them seaweed. And then they don't fart a lot because otherwise we're going to be giving them White Castle, and that was just bad for the global warmings. But now, give them seaweed like the Japanese, because Japanese people don't fart so much as Americans. And now we're going to cure global warming and stuff.
I want to know how many dollars went into the
cow
study.
farts.
Real men of genius right there, boys.
Yeah.
I do.
Cow farts.
I want to know how many dollars went into that study.
Yeah, they're going to save every one of us.
So I want to. Good job. You're watching Westworld, yes?
Absolutely.
Love it.
Dude, I am loving that show. They get better and better every week. And the theory that's floating around now that I've totally bought into, I just wanted to get it out there for those watching it, is that we're actually watching two different timelines. There is, so everybody, the man in black is doing his thing. And then you've got, the normal guy with his buddy that, come in and, they're off on the bounty hunt now.
His buddy's the crazy one that loves shooting everybody up, and he's kind of like the reserved, quiet. Right.
Which one's Cyclops from X-Men?
That's
the guy who dies like in every episode. He's like the Kenny of Westworld.
Yeah. There is a Kenny. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So the theory is that the calm, reserved one is the man in black.
Woof.
And we're watching his origin story. And there's a lot of things in the show that point to this. Like, for episode 1, man in black, one of the bots empties a gun at him. Well, they're just sand bullets, and he doesn't even bat an eye.
That's why I think it's Truman Show, because of him.
Well, but
the man in black guy's.
But when normal guy gets shot, he gets spun around and he's got this big giant bruise, like it's an earlier version of the technology. And so they've said, the man in black has been, he's been going there for 30 years, and he's been through every, and there's a couple other, just, the way he talks about Dolores and it's an interesting theory, and I hope it pans out because it's awesome.
Well, Dolores is one of the oldest hosts in the game, right?
She's the oldest that's still active, yeah.
Like, her story is weird, too, like how they pull her out all the time and, like, talk to her. That
Bernard.
One guy, yes.
Bernard is weird.
It's an interesting relationship or something.
Yeah.
I call it a relationship because that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. Love the show, though.
Apparently, I'll give him a little plug. Apparently, there's a great show that Jimmy's a part of called Sweetwater Saloon. That's a podcast. all about Westworld, you should go give them a listen. Apparently,
someone needs to help me figure that damn show out. I just want to see shit blow up. I'm sick of this like Lost thing where like I got to remember the numbers
It's
and
made
like
by the same people though.
That's why bastards.
The producers.
but they're not making you go to websites to decode a puzzle to
Seriously,
figure out.
it's bad enough when I play like Fallout and I get stuck and I gotta Google how to not do that. It's like this show I have to like have Google open to like watch this damn show. I just want to watch dumb shit on Sunday night. Bar rescue there and go to bed.
Perfect.
I want to think. Stupid Westworld makes me think. Assholes. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be back with Christian from Groupknit. This is the IT in the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Lives of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
Welcome back, segment 2. This is 168th episode of the IT in the D show, broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit. This is Bob the Sales Guy hanging out with Dave the Geek, and Nuri the FNG is in the house. Find us online, ITintheD.com, because we are IT in the D, and you
still
keep trying.
But
keep
last
trying.
week was a pretty good attempt.
Oh, it was.
It was,
yeah.
So
I feel like I missed something.
No.
It's part of my shtick.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the deal. So imagine you have house guests coming over, but only one bedroom. What if you could order an extra bedroom for your guests you could remove after they leave? That's the idea behind Lenovo's next-generation data centers built for cloud computing. You see, the cloud is all about giving your company the ability to expand and contract server space on demand without actually adding more hardware. Lenovo understands that on-demand access can give your company a tremendous competitive advantage. Just think about it. The faster you can scale up, the faster your dev team can test new applications, and that means you can get new product features into market faster. But that kind of flexibility is worthless if your servers are down, or like the DNS outage happens and then everybody's servers are down. Lenovo servers are number one in reliability and performance because you don't have time for downtime. Feeling handcuffed by proprietary hardware-software relationships? Lenovo systems allow you to partner with leading software providers to ensure your cloud solution is best in class. Lenovo systems can even integrate with legacy software platforms to help get your cloud solution up and running quickly. Learn more about how Lenovo is transforming the data center at www.lenovo.com/datacenter, or you can listen to the last segment of last week's show. Actually, we had a whole bunch of interviews with their folks. Again, that's www.lenovo.com/datacenter.
Cool. Thank you. So we
no, thank them.
Thank them. No, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to them. So hey, we are joined by Christian. You are the founder of a cool startup going on in downtown Detroit, actually in Michigan, called Groupknit.
Yep.
And I just downloaded your app, and I am color me impressed.
Thanks.
So I guess how did you start Groupknit? And I guess talk to us about what it is first, and then let's talk about kind of how this thing was started.
Sure. Groupknit's a great way to find things to do downtown and Metro Detroit in general. It's for people who really want to explore the city and explore Metro Detroit and find out about all the great things that are happening downtown. With all the new development, there's just a ton of stuff to do downtown. There's a ton of places to go, a ton of places to eat and drink, and it's just a great time to visit Detroit.
I feel like there's a new restaurant popping up like every week downtown.
Day.
It's crazy. I'm like, have you heard about this place? What's that?
Yeah, and that's our goal.
What
right?
are they fusing?
Right, that's the goal, right? We want to be able to know all those places and tell you about them.
Well, in the waiting room, I was asking you, I go, whose API you pulling to get all the data? And you're like, we're doing it.
Well, so that was my question. Is all that data coming from Yelp? Is it crowdsourced? Like how? Yeah.
Couple of different ways. We do a lot of it manually. We like to know what the best stuff is to do ourselves just for the research, but also we are working with a lot of different places around Detroit to get their data in automatically through their own systems. So like, for example, the Majestic has an API that we work with.
Oh, very cool.
The Majestic has an API?
Well, they work with us.
Oh, I'm like, that's pretty damn cool. Like, we do a lot of events out there. And
right.
Wow.
I didn't even know they had computers at the Majestic.
Like a bowling alley, but an API.
So are you guys like the New York City like nightclub bouncers, or can anyone put any event on your app?
No, anyone can put any event on there. It might not be the coolest event, might not get the most attention, but if you want to put your event on there, of course you can put it on there. And we might personally not think it's the best, but of course you're welcome to.
You'll rate it 1 star.
Yeah, we won't necessarily
worst event
broadcast
ever.
it.
Right. You're a loser if you go to this.
The free pizza was cold.
Right. So I guess for those that are listening and haven't checked it out yet. So I mean, is it? You mentioned like a rating system. Like, can users chime in on this? Is what kind of feedback or what kind of criteria determines how something gets pushed out?
Sure. So one of the biggest ways is just by our own experiences and knowing what's best to us ourselves. So we'd put a lot of curated content out there, places like the best places to eat, the best places to drink, the best places to go for Halloween this year, which is just this weekend, best places to go for hikes, the best places to find a park, the best places to relax. All this stuff, all these experiences that you can have are all
You had us at bars, burgers, and Halloween.
Yeah.
You lost us on hikes, parks.
I'm cool with that.
It's called walking.
There's a lot of experiences you can have in Detroit, and they're all great.
It's not hiking, it's walking. It's not mountain biking, it's biking. There's no mountains here.
Yeah, this is actually really gorgeous. This
Yeah.
is, the app has got an incredible
it's very
gorgeous
clean.
design. And I'm thinking, like, for people who don't live in Detroit as well, there's some benefit as well. I noticed 48 hours in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you live somewhere else, you're like, man, I'd really love to see what Detroit is. This app would help you basically ensure to have a good time.
Yeah, we were featured at a conference recently, and we really wanted to make sure that the conference goers had enough information about Detroit to be able to experience it. I mean, they were hesitant to come to Detroit because of all the negative implications around Detroit, but we really wanted them to experience the Detroit that we all know and love and enjoy it much more than they otherwise would be. So we found some places in that 48 hours, and we hope that they found some great places.
One of my favorites in there, you have Selden Standard in there, which
Yep.
is one of my favorite places for dinner. I noticed that's in the 48 hours. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that's my question. Is is the Detroit Convention and Visitors Bureau looking at this yet?
I don't know that the Detroit Convention and Visitors Bureau is, but I know that we're working with a company called Detroit Experience Factory, which gives tours and has a welcome center down in Detroit.
Yeah, we know them.
Yeah, so they're one of our partners, and they're working with us to do a lot of stuff down there.
Okay.
Now, where'd the name come from? I'm just curious.
yeah, especially if you're just in Detroit. Why Groupknit?
Actually, I'm glad that you asked because there is a silent K in there, and I want to make sure that it's Groupknit, like knitting groups together. Yeah, Knit. Yeah, Groupknit.
Yeah.
So,
And there's a schwa and
Silent K,
umlaut.
that sounds like my DJ name.
I thought it was a cereal.
we were talking earlier about buying up all the DNSs, and we were like, how many different ways can you spell Groupknit phonetically? And let's buy everything that's involved with that. But no, so we came up with the name.
There's no K for lice outbreaks. Groupknit. No, sorry. I'll shut up now.
A for effort.
A sad ghost.
So the name for Groupknit came from just the idea that we wanted to bring people together and make sure that it's a very social experience, and you're bringing lots of different types of people together, and especially since the Metro Detroit area has been hesitant to go down to downtown Detroit, we want to be able to bring all the people from the Metro Detroit area down into Detroit as well.
Cool. No, like I said, that's one of the nicer. When you say, we always talk about download another app. Well, you download it and it's like, it's clean. I mean, it is as clean as an app as I have ever.
Well, I mean,
seen.
that's
I'm
the
not
question
just
we always
saying extra
ask
on the show. No, it's
That's all
true.
our guests.
Right.
Well, no, I mean that's the question we always ask. Why does your app deserve my screen real estate?
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a clean, good thing. And I guess to piggyback off that, I mean, is this something that's just focusing on downtown, or is this a Metro Detroit thing?
It's definitely a Metro Detroit thing, but we do have a soft spot for the downtown area and all the development that's going on. And we think that that's a really big reason why people would use Groupknit versus any other app, because we have such a focus on the downtown area and providing an experience for people who want to find out more about the downtown area since all the development has happened and all the great new places have opened up.
I can't keep up with all the damn restaurants.
That's
I'm not
the
gonna
idea,
lie.
right? We keep up for you, and we'll tell you what the best stuff is as they come out.
This is such a good thing for Detroit, too. I feel like so many people live in the suburbs and are almost afraid of Detroit. They come down and they go to
I
a
don't
Tiger.
think anymore.
Bullshit. It's
You think?
people I talk to all the time.
Let
are
me
like,
let me have you sit down with my father-in-law.
people my age are the same way. They're
Well, it's
like,
like the normal bell curve. You have the early adopters who early adopted
hipsters.
Detroit, right? Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But then there's still a lot of people who are hesitant to go downtown, and it's not fair because it's an awesome place to be.
Dude, we saw it with our own group members. I mean, when we were a couple years ago when we were first starting to do events downtown again, it happens.
Yeah. No, it's true. And like I said, I like to go eat.
No,
get out of town. You can only have Lafayette so many times in your life. I mean, granted, you can have more, but it's always nice to know. Like, I've never been to Katoy. I'm dying to go.
What?
Like, I know I'm an idiot. I know.
Gotta go to Katoy.
I know Dave likes to make fun of their DJ booth, but on Yelp.
Yeah.
I was there twice. I got a really great
Non-DJ.
Katoy story, actually. I went there on 2 different dates last week to Katoy. And the bartender looks at me. He's like, "Hey, you were here with some girl like last night." And the girl I was there with, Jessica, is like, this is a funny thing for Jessica and I. But the bartender's, I'm like, "No, dude, I was here with some other girl." And he's like, "I am so effing sorry, bro." She went to use the bathroom. He's like, "I remember you, but I don't remember her." And I'm like, "Dude, I can't tell you how okay this is. Please don't feel bad about it." But as a bartender,
nah, man, you got to be like
shit.
the maitre d' at the restaurant in The Sopranos.
Hello, sir.
Exactly. Hey, we haven't seen you in forever. How you been?
It was like literally 2 nights apart with 2 different girls.
So, Christian, do you want to get people more actively involved in kind of like the voting selection process, or do you want to keep this thing kind of pristine and unjudged? Because, there's a good touch, bad touch with like Yelp, where it can get completely bastardized, but it can also help it tremendously, right? I guess, do you guys have a thought process in doing or not doing that?
Because you do have a rating system.
Right. Yeah. So what we really want to do is we want to keep it as clean as possible. Our algorithm, for example, includes things like reliability. You'll never end up with that 5-star review that only has 1 review in there and is not really that reliable. Instead, we include things like reliability to make sure that the reviews are as accurate as possible.
Interesting.
So reliability, how? Like what?
Number of reviews is the biggest way through reliability. So if you have 62, upvotes and 0 downvotes, that's probably a pretty good place. If you have 1 upvote and 0 downvotes, then who knows? So that's probably more like a 3-star. Let's wait until we get some confirmation.
So I know the one thing that plagues, the social media activists, where Wendy has a bad experience somewhere because she's a pain in the ass, and she goes and posts on Facebook about it, and all of her friends go and start like doing 1-star Yelp reviews, 1-star Facebook reviews, based on nothing other than Wendy saying she was wronged. Like, are you guys paying attention to that sort of thing too, or
not today? But that is something that we want to do in the future, based on the amount of reviews you've had in the past, and whether or not you stick to one type of review, whether or not you give long reviews. That should go into it as well to make sure that these places are as accurately represented as possible, so you don't get trolls out there who are just spamming one particular place. That isn't fair.
No, but then again, though, like I never rate based on the food, because you might like spaghetti and meatballs for dinner. I don't. Well, but it doesn't mean that I should say it sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
the other thing is expectation goes into it, a lot of it. So if you go to a place and you get a $200 dinner and it was really good, I mean, that's like a 4-star, right? You expect a $200 dinner to be really good. If you go to a $10 dinner and it's really good, that's a 5-star. So that $200 dinner was probably better than your $10 dinner, but you're so impressed by the $10 dinner that you rate it a lot higher. So things like that need to come into account, and things like reliability need to come into account to actually give you a realistic expectation.
No, I always treat places for what they are. If it's a dive bar, I'm not going to put it up next to, iridescence.
I found a YouTube channel today where a guy reviews fast food like it was a fine wine.
I saw the same thing.
Oh my God, it was so good. So good.
Brings out a sack of Wendy's. He's got like a tux in the top hat, or like
a slicked back hair, perfectly combed.
I saw one for bottled water. It was a sommelier was reviewing bottled water, and she gave him all these different scores.
Oh, there was a great Penn and Teller episode.
Oh, the bullshit episode.
Phenomenal episode about the bottled water.
They had a water sommelier, and they filled all the bottles of water with a hose in the back.
Oh, really?
And
they slapped different labels on them.
Yeah. Make a different
and they're like, this one's from the Swiss Alps, and ooh, it's so minerally. And the people were like dissertating it like a fine wine. They're like, you guys are all assholes. It's the hose water.
I can taste the Europe.
Boys, your face red. Yeah, exactly.
It smells like.
So I guess like ballpark. Like, so what? Like, where do you see Groupknit going next? Like, what's on the horizon for you guys?
Right. So this one of the big things that we want to be able to do is offer deals. Right. One of the logical next step is to offer deals. One of our big markets is people who are my age, 20 to 30 years old, who don't necessarily have a lot of money to go to roast for a $100 dinner. Instead, we want to be able to offer deals to people exclusively through Groupknit on great places in Detroit, so that they have access to go to some places they wouldn't necessarily otherwise be able to go to.
Interesting.
I like the whole we like, you like. I granted, the login Facebook thing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, hey, this is what we like. This is depending on what your likes are, this is what you probably would like. And then there's just general categories. So it's not like you're telling me what to do.
No,
but if
we
I
don't
want to know, I can click that.
Yeah,
you know?
the other cool thing about it is that we have, instead of just having restaurants and bars, we want to be able to explain all the great things that are happening in Detroit. Not just places you can eat, not just the places you can drink, not just the concerts you can go to, but there's so much great stuff going on downtown that you ought to be able to find some awesome things to do. So
places to learn. Who wants to do that?
Lots of different strokes, right?
Exactly. It's like the pedal pubs. People rave about pedal pubs. I'm like, I don't like that much exercise with my drinking.
I thought they were electric, and it's like, no, you have to actually pedal. I'm like,
that's why they're called pedal pubs.
But I just thought that was there for show.
No.
You can get rowdy on those things, though. If you see people walking or pedaling around, they're loud.
Apparently, there was
look at me! Look at everyone!
Yeah.
Look at me!
A friend of mine posted about a bachelorette party that was on one Thursday with apparently a couple bottles of Fireball, and it got rowdy.
Selfie.
Yeah. All right. So hey, where do we find out more about Groupknit? I'm assuming Android, iOS, all the usual
Both
places.
Android and iOS, so the App Store and Google Play.
And Groupknit, all one word, 2 words for people searching.
One word. Yep. And one word. And Groupknit.com is our website.
Like the logo. It's clean. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything about
The whole
it.
thing is super clean.
Pass the sniff test.
Yeah. So what do you about
ITintheD sniff test approved?
It smells fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think about like the startup culture in Detroit? I mean, you're basically building a new app in Detroit. Tell us about your team. Tell us about your experiences, kind of like starting something in Detroit.
Absolutely. So obviously, I mean, most people know that Detroit is kind of a tech hub these days, and you have Tech Town downtown. You have a lot of co-working spaces that a lot of people work in. A lot of apps are coming out of Detroit. Our team specifically was funded by a group out of Detroit, Altair Engineering. So my team is myself and Tim Sadikoff, who's our developer and resident hacker. He is a great guy. And
shout out to Jeff Marasini, who's a VP of IT at Altair. Listen to the show.
I know Jeff. Yeah, Jeff's a great guy.
Sure.
He's super sharp.
Sure.
Yeah. So we were funded by a group of individuals and also Altair as a corporation.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what stage are you? I mean, is there a what's next? Are you trying to just prove this one out?
So, well, yeah, we definitely want to prove the story here in Detroit, but we do want to go to other metros as well. So I think that we really like being in Detroit because it's has a special place for us, and we can focus on the places that we like to go. But also, I think other metro areas would benefit from the same story. And people want to know what's going on in their town. There's a lot of great stories across the country.
Well, you left it open. You didn't put Detroit in the name, unlike a couple other idiots that can't go anywhere else because we're stuck with Podcast Detroit being in Detroit. But, that's for another day. I wouldn't change it for the world. Are you kidding me? But Christian, hey, we appreciate coming out. Like I said, check out Groupknit with a K on the Apple and the iOS. Just kidding. I made that just to make the Google.
I see people cringe in the room.
The Googles and the Apples. But no, Christian, appreciate it. Definitely keep in touch with us as things progress.
Absolutely.
I'd love to have you back on in the future when if anything changes.
Like you launch Chicago, for instance, or something. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
or deals launch. And anything cool coming on.
But
definitely come
strap
back.
on your seatbelts. We're going to be back with the Detroit cast of The Last Squad Standing from the Oxygen Channel.
Oof.
You may fire one ready, Dave. This is the ITintheD show, and we'll be right back.
ITintheD. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to ITintheD show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD show.
Welcome back. This is segment 3, episode 168 of the ITintheD show, broadcasting live here in Podcast Detroit in the one-story Golden Towers here in Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. And actually, Kari from Detroit is Difference in the House, shooting film. Find us online, ITintheD.com. And you know the rest. That's where all our stuff
all the
is.
Things.
We're going to be over at the Firebird in November. I have no idea what day it is. 17th in November. We're going to be at the Firebird down in Greektown, second story, all to ourselves. All the whiskey you can drink.
I always get in so much trouble when I go to the Firebird.
It's never a good night. Well, I mean, it's always a great night, but it's never a good night.
We ended up at American Coney eating like everything after the last time because
you end up in a CEO's secret office in the Penobscots.
No, because all you have to say is we went down to, what was it, Knob Creek?
Yeah.
Like, we got our own bourbon. You guys want to try it? I'm like, yeah, I want to try it.
Yeah, I want the cheesy poofs.
Exactly. Like, you'll say no to that.
And one thing, actually, we did forget to mention, I want to make sure we get it out there. We are not live next Monday night. Next Monday night is Halloween. We have kids.
Give kids some candy, damn it.
Exactly. We will be, so Tuesday, we will be live, Tuesday the 1st. So that being said, brace yourselves for impact. We have the Detroit Players here from Last Squad Standing coming out next Tuesday, actually, on the Oxygen Network.
Yes.
I've seen the screener. You guys are insane. But in that good Detroit way. Like it's So I guess just a little stage setting. So Last Squad Standing is a show that, like I said, premiering next Tuesday on the Oxygen Network, I believe 9 o'clock. And it is 3 teams from Detroit, Baltimore, and New Jersey.
Yes.
It's 2 men and 3 women on each team. And
one team has 3 men and all right, never mind.
Bell.
We have another bill.
That's the thing here. It is.
Yeah, welcome to Podcast Detroit, where cheesy motel bells rule. But no, and it's, there are challenges. Like it's kind of, having watched the first episode, it's sort of Survivor-ish, sort of Big Brother-ish, sort of dating game-ish. And so there's challenges and people get eliminated, and the last squad standing at the end gets $100,000. So how did... and this, I guess let's start with the setup. The setup is it's your squad and it's people that you've known for a long time. The question everybody asks about quote unquote reality TV: did you guys really know each other going into this? Like, what's the scoop?
Absolutely. Yeah, we really knew each other.
I actually stayed in the same building of 2 of the other cast members, and then I also knew Mike through modeling, and I knew Kia B through Mike, who is an actress.
And I knew Mike through acting and Nastasia. Mike is pretty much the common denominator.
Yeah, I'm the chain reaction.
You're the nexus?
Yeah, I'm the chain reaction.
He's the nucleus. So Mike and I knew each other
the longest.
From 2007. I was down at Wayne State University playing football, throwing parties. He was the crazy guy down there. We were just all hanging out, just doing our thing. And so we kind of clicked. I met, the 2 ladies met me, or know of me because I'm a Detroit sex symbol.
Oh, my God. Really? Not right.
Yeah, that's how they know me.
So you have Armand and Mike Merrill, 2
the SOB Shut Up Boys.
Yeah. Hello. So we was like them guys on Wayne State campus.
Gotcha.
Even though I didn't go there.
I was about to say.
Even though I didn't
you're
go
the guy
there.
that wears. I went to college in Boston, so you're the guy with the Harvard sweatshirt that never went.
No.
Went there.
They took over my spot because I was running it in '96. I was throwing all the frat parties. I was doing all that. And then needed about a 15-year lapse. Then they took over my generation. Yeah, exactly.
What's so crazy about that is we were actually just playing. I think we were playing because on the show there's no TVs, there's no like any interaction with outside world, right?
Yeah.
So what? There's none. So what happens is like there's all interaction. You have to talk to the people that are in the house,
right?
So we're playing like I don't know what we're playing. We're playing like chess or something. And we're in this conversation, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, man, I was like, I hated such and such class or something like that. Some professor down at Wayne State. And I was like, did you take that? It's like, you know what I mean? He's like, bro, I never went to Wayne State. I'm like, what? What?
Everybody thought I went to Wayne State.
I'm like, what? Like, so I learned something new about him, like with that extra time that we spent with one another.
He's like, brother, man.
And I was able to have that college life without going to college.
Without the student loans, he had to experience those student loans.
Yeah,
he's like the Matthew. He's like the Matthew McConaughey of hangs out at the high school parties, but you don't go here.
All right.
You know what I like about college girls? I keep getting older; they keep staying the same age.
He's like the wedding crashers of college.
Right.
So and I guess that's a good point. So it's what, 10 episodes? So were you guys there for 10 weeks? A little bit longer?
You know what? November 1st. Last Squad Standing will be airing on Oxygen Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Yeah, so it's 10 episodes. So I mean,
it's 10 episodes.
It is 10 episodes, yes.
Yeah. So and you were completely cut off from the outside world. Like, I mean,
no phones, no Facebook.
Anything but everyone around us.
How do you talk to people? I mean, without a cell phone and Facebook, I wouldn't know how to talk.
We had each other.
We had each other.
We had each other.
In the air.
We was forced to, get to know the other team.
So guys,
as well. So
it's essentially like, let's do this. If we close that door and took all the iPhones that are laying around, all the computers that are laying around, and
you have 4 seconds before I start twitching.
Yeah, you know what I mean, right? And this is it. Like, this is all the people. Like, every bit of information I know has to come from you or the other.
How do you settle bar fights? It's like, yeah, this thing happened. No, it didn't. You pull up Wikipedia and you settle a bar fight. How do you I'd be so lost.
I mean, you argue until you get tired, and then you go to sleep and wake up and argue more.
Right.
I mean,
which makes for good
TV. They kept a set of encyclopedias in the house, but no one knew how to use them.
We can hope that maybe a crew member will maybe give us an answer. I think during that time the NBA playoffs was going on or something like that.
NBA playoffs, and it was a couple songs that we didn't know about.
That was really big, though. We didn't know all the songs that were
Gucci
coming
Man
out.
got out of jail while we were
We were like, or his clone did, if you believe the conspiracy theory. Yeah.
we were trying to get into people outside that were cutting the grass and like tell us secrets, like what's going on outside right now. What's happening out there? Is it like I came back like I think Trump was the Republican nominee when we came back. You know what I mean? It was like all this new stuff. It was like, whoa.
What happened to my world, damn it?
Right.
Idiocracy.
We weren't gone for years.
Yeah.
It's like, the Detroit Players is in LA right now, so let's do what we can do.
It was a crazy thing. Kind of reminds me of my high school friend of mine went to jail at like a young age, right? And he got out recently, and he was like looking at my phone, like, "What is this?" He's like touching the screen, like you just like tap the screen. I'm like, it's a fucking touch screen. What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? But like when he came, it was like Nextel with like the push button,
clamshell flip phone.
Yeah, the flip joints, and when he got out,
society,
it's crazy.
Taken out of society,
and that's where we were.
You really appreciate people interaction.
It's like their mental state is almost stuck in the year they were taken out of
taken away.
And that honestly is how I feel.
And that's really how it is, because I know several people that has been to prison and back home, and when I say their mental stability is literally stuck in like 98, 99, 2000.
Oof. Yeah.
And it's sad. It's really sad. But
no one is updating them.
I just want to say that when I got released from the house, that's how I felt when I got released.
I got paroled.
I felt like for a minute that I was actually living like in the house still. Like I felt like I was still on the schedule. I feel like I had to still talk to the people who were in the house.
Where's the damn In-N-Out burger? I'm going there right now. Right.
I still haven't had. Have I had? No, I still haven't had an In-N-Out burger yet.
Oh, I figured LA. That's the first thing I go.
Is thebomb.com.
So how was that as far as like your production schedule? How intense was it? I mean, is it like every morning 7 a.m. you're up doing stuff and going all the way to late, or what was your average day like?
We pretty much just woke up to it.
Yeah. It's like you wake up and like. You wake up and think about how annoying this would be if I woke up and my phone was like right here in your face, and I'm like just like a 25 camera staring at you.
You wake up like this.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, damn it, Mom. No, I'm not taking the trash out.
And then this is weird thing where you're like, obviously because it's filming, right? You're not able to sleep like in the middle of the day. Like you can't take naps and stuff. It's like, I'm an entrepreneur, so I always take naps in the middle of the day. So like it's like, oh, there's no sleep here. So it's really like this. This is $7 million house that we're staying in, right? In like the Agoura Hills, and they're gorgeous. I mean, amazing property. Infinity pool, like this whole like environment that's so peaceful. You don't hear cars. You hear so many things that we, you don't hear cars. You don't hear gunshots. You don't hear anything. You don't hear stuff that we may be used to hearing. You know what I mean? And it's just so peaceful. And what's crazy about it is like, you wake up in the morning, you don't hear like the garbage man or like the, like people outside mowing the lawn like at crazy obscene hours.
Wake up like this.
You just wake up like, oh, but you do hear like this little fan that's going, and that's like the huge cameras that they're like staring at you. So it adds extra stress on the whole situation.
Well, I guess that's a question. Like what's it like living in a house? I mean, like I'm assuming there are cameras everywhere.
Yes,
throughout.
Everywhere.
Like what I would
privacy.
like. I would think that would drive.
There
me
might
nuts
be
more than
there might have been a
anything
camera in the toilet. Like, yeah, we want to see you taking a shit. We want to see your shit.
Like after hours.
Like
your goddamn
that's got to be nerve wracking.
Like Bob hasn't been in the house for like an hour. Where is he? Bathroom doors shut. I don't know. It's crazy.
No, but it was like this, like it was like certain like rules and stuff like that. So it was like I'll be trying to tell Mike something secretively, and like the camera's like, what are you guys saying in there? Like the cameras are like right on you, and so it's like it's really like and you're gonna see that is a dynamic because it's like it's this cool time to be in this house and be on TV and everything, but at the same time it's kind of like a stressful situation because you got the competition, you got Baltimore talking shit, you got New Jersey talking shit, you got Detroit talking shit to Detroit, you know what I mean? And it's like just
you already said right.
Yeah, and it's
Detroit talking shit to Detroit,
well,
which is our own competition.
So that's like I said. So I, watching the screener episode, that first episode, I mean, they played that up a lot. They played up a lot of the infighting and that kind of stuff that's going to go on. And I guess, you guys are good friends and everything, and that's great. But there's $100,000 on the line.
Yeah, it's stressful.
So like, and and with the eliminations and all that stuff, like how, like I guess what's the.
Who's got the nice car outside? Let's figure out who won. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the driver.
Oh, yeah.
We'll figure out who won. No, so like, what's the craziest thing you dealt with while you were there?
Just being away. Honestly, me being away from my son.
Wait, I was gonna say because you're a mom.
Yeah.
A hot mom, I mean, a MILF. If I'm.
You know what? I just want to say, we kind of learned some things about each other that we didn't know.
Like you didn't go to Wayne State.
You're cool.
So you guys are not confused on the show. Mike and I are talking with these like country type voices, like not at my goddamn ranch and like that, because it was funny
doing it goddamn shit right here,
right? Because when we were in the hotel, like kind of preparing to go on the show, Mike and I was like fascinated with Stone Cold Steve Austin's show called like it's called like Big Horn Ranch,
y'all
or Big Skull Ranch or whatever, right? So Mike,
we taking that on the show.
so, like the only TV we got was like here's these two like black Detroit kids that are listening to like Stone Cold Steve Austin. So we're talking like them, and you can see people like looking like, why do they sound like that?
When I hear where's my goddamn brother? I'll be like, yeah, your goddamn brother here.
I just keep wanting to say, what?
What? And you got to tell somebody.
You better haul ass.
You better haul ass. Not at my goddamn ranch, right?
Not at my goddamn ranch.
So we gave each other a name. His name's Boom Shay. My name's Skillet. Yeah, so it's kind of that's gonna be like a confusing piece of just so much personality of like, why do they sound like that? I thought they were from Detroit. Like, you know what I mean? Like they sound like they're from Montana. You know what I mean? Like,
I love the way Nastasia say our names. Nastasia hit him with it.
Boom, shine, skillet.
She even got into it with us. It was awesome.
That was pretty legit.
No TV, no phone. I'd be making up shitty voices too. I mean,
it's like we played ping pong 65,000 times.
Oh my god!
Like we were like we had like
were you like Forrest Gump at the end. You're gonna go to the Olympics.
Like we were just it was crazy. Yeah, Mama said it's so crazy because it's like at night.
Lieutenant Diane.
At night, like I planned to like wake up in the middle. So we tallied it on the like the refrigerator, right, which is really nice. So it's like a Sub-Zero. So we had really nice shit. We just didn't have a lot of pots and pans. So it was kind of weird. It's like this huge, nice kitchen with like 3 pots, and we were like fighting over them. Like, hey, you cooked eggs yesterday, you motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you always start fucking cooking eggs. Like,
also, I was gonna ask, like, because I mean, they show that in the coming weeks, like they show you guys cooking, like, so you, I mean, you
that
didn't
was
have,
me cooking.
Yeah, you didn't. People cooking.
And
Kia was cooking some shit up. It was mostly,
but I took advantage of the fact that Nastasia wanted to cook, so I was able to just relax.
No. Nastasia did not want to cook. Nastasia wanted to eat.
And then here we coming out, Nastasia. You know,
see, it's kind of like I'll be in the kitchen cooking, and then you'll just start seeing people like starting to slowly tiptoe into the kitchen once the food's almost ready.
What's going on? No, it's kind of like Survivor. Like the cast is all starving, like trying to eat bugs, while like the camera crew's like got like full on Thai catering. Like, you know, like, can I get some of that? Like we're like fessing over craft dinner here, and I want some.
Exactly. Or you're like looking at people who are walking around with like their phones, and you're like, oh. What's that like?
5 minutes of Facebook, please.
Just show me just show me 1 minute.
Listen,
what happened to my Clash of Clans
please
base?
Don't lock your phone with your fingerprint. Just let me see it open. Just let me see it online.
Right. That's kind of crazy.
So with all, so you got 3 teams. You've got you have 15 different personalities. Like what's the craziest thing you had to deal with?
Well, so are anybody in here who's married in here? Who's married in here? Right. Married. Right.
Yeah.
So how is it if your wife gets mad at you? How was your time in the house? What would you use to describe it if your wife gets mad at you? You leave. Oh yeah, we couldn't fucking do that. So
it's just not good.
Right, it's not good. Right. So think about this. So it's like Mike and I are married to 3 different women. Right, because
it sounds like my dream, actually.
Right? No, it's not your dream because you're stuck with them and you can't like leave and go cheat or do any fun shit like that. Right? You have to like stay inside. So it's
that's
like
fun,
if Charmaine's mad at me, it's like I have to like just like sleep with one eye open and hope she doesn't kill me. Like it's like, and then you talk about eating, right? Nastasia was like cooking, but it was like a period of time. It was like 2 weeks where Nastasia was pissed at me, so I wasn't eating. I was up there.
I was sure have my meals with you.
Right. See, I'm having Nakia like sneak me food up under the table. And shit. Hey, bring me some of the sausage. You see what I mean? Like, so it was kind of fucked up.
Like that, Kia.
Why is there a pillow over my face in the morning?
Right. It's like, who was trying to suffocate me?
Me
Like,
and Charmaine.
crazy.
When we had our argument, I was like, shit, this bitch is crazy. I'm sleeping with one eye open tonight.
Next thing you know, you'll probably see her show up at the door like this.
It was crazy.
So talking about food, I watched All the reality TV I've seen, it seems like they're plying people with alcohol nonstop.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so
yeah.
did you feel like you're being plied with alcohol? Did that help any of the storylines kind of move on a little bit?
I did.
Oh, we got a finger in the air. We do.
So believe it or not, I didn't like drink on the show, right?
What?
Because I was like focused. I'm like, look, team, I'm not fucking drinking, right?
This is a
We gotta
big
stay
game,
focused.
$100,000
Yeah, you know, because it reminded me of like Wayne State football. So, but the thing was like, a dude named Stars, right? A cat from Baltimore. He's like this rapper cat. And he was like, you have Detroit and Baltimore in this bitch, and y'all don't have no Hennessy, right? And it's so funny because like maybe like 5 hours later, I see like the backstage crew like coming in with cases and cases of Hennessy, like, here we come, sir, Hennessy. Like, so it was kind of like fucked up. So
this episode brought to you by.
Yeah. So it's like, right. Oh yeah, but that plug, Hennessy, send me some money, send some to Pacquiao and send some to me.
With the Hennessy, it got to the point. It got to the point where everyone's
That's our
like,
name,
"We're
Tucker.
not doing anything
Until we get
unless the Hennessy's here."
You're right.
And you're like, okay.
Until the one time,
Brats.
someone took Ivy's, like, she's like obsessed with Tito's vodka.
Yes.
So Ivy's the 6'4", like LeBron James little.
I believe.
right.
I believe the reference was the Amazon Avatar
looking bitch.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't that mean. I just said LeBron James' little sister, right? I think she's actually kind of like hot and like a strong,
guys,
like
listen.
testosterone feel type way.
I just want to say something on that. Like, listen. Okay, I know we're talking about it. You know, that's all.
Your mic's in love
It's
with
kind of
her.
related. No, it's kind of related to me too because it's like,
Let him
Charmaine,
defend his
that's
woman.
Not gonna do.
His other
lover.
No, I'm just saying, like, okay.
Girlfriend number 2.
Out of 3, right?
number 3. Sorry.
Okay, so listen. It's like this. So it's like y'all messing with my taste of women. Like I'm just you're like, oh, this is man looking bitch.
I can understand why you need to defend it now.
I need to defend
I
that.
can understand that.
Yeah, no, we actually saw one of those at the bar the other night. Totally different. Yeah.
Totally different. Okay, well, that's what I'm talking about. So she's not that.
So basically, I feel like Dave was saying that because you were drunk.
The goose goggles.
Because he said he saw one of those at the bar the other night.
One more drink.
His vision was a little blurred.
Oh, no, listen. She had no package back down there. I can let you know that.
It was surgically removed.
Well, so I mean,
Are you admitting something about some things that you're
No,
not
I'm just
supposed to
saying
be
she
saying?
had no package down there.
So I guess that's inevitably there. Shows like this, there's bound to be hookups, flirting, that kind of stuff. How much of that?
Oh no!
But how much of that?
Mono.
How much of that is random? How much of that is strategy?
Listen, everything is random.
So here's the fun one.
I wouldn't
That's
say
such
it was
a great
strategy on.
That's a great.
Not everybody, no.
So here's the thing. So you'll see right now in the commercials that Baltimore is like pushing this agenda that it was like a whole like reason behind all of this, right? Like it was a reason behind they were trying to talk to, they were dressed in lingerie to talk to Mike and talk to me and distract us, right?
Right.
Distract the Detroit teams, like strong men, from being focused on the competition. But it's kind of like it really was an excuse just to get with a Detroit player. Hello.
Hey, you can say that again, brother. Because this is our goddamn rest.
So annoying.
So I guess from what I understand, like there's a premiere viewing party next Tuesday. So like what should people expect out of this show?
Are we invited? I want to go.
Yeah.
We have 2 parties.
So we have 2. So on the 29th,
They get the shitty party, then they get the good party for themselves.
Which one's going to have the Hennessy is what I want to know.
So this is going to be heavy Henny on the 29th and heavy Henny on the 1st.
Yes.
So it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you guys Hennessy guys?
29th Saturday.
Cranberry juice.
I drink everything.
First Tuesday.
We're
Both of
actually,
them is
we're
going
actually
down.
having those conversations about whether or not we're going to set up the remote gear and do a live broadcast and talk with everybody there.
I just want to
Actually,
drink.
I'm going to tell you guys this. You guys are coming.
Yeah, you guys got to come.
Even if we have a center driver here, you guys are coming.
I don't even want you guys working. I want Christian Gray to come here and not steal any of my women. Right? I want the Big Show to come and choke slam and body slam, choke slam the first person I point out that looks like somebody from Baltimore. We're just gonna do it like that.
So I guess
Macklemore. I'm sorry.
I guess that's what what should people expect out of the show? Like why should our listening audience tune in to the Oxygen Network and watch this show?
Because I think for
real.
the first time,
like to me, it's everything that happened is real.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
So when you hold on, when you say that, like producers aren't in your ear saying like
Not
go over
at
there and
any
punch him in the stomach. Like
Not at
we've
any
heard that
point.
about for years on reality.
Yeah.
You know,
This is actually a real show, and
Detroit players are real.
Detroit players is a real thing.
Because can I get Charmaine? Hello, Detroit players are what?
Shut up. I will say the reason why people should
just had to mess it up. That's why my phone smacked you in the goddamn lip.
No, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I would like to say that I agree with being real, but anybody that's from Detroit that ever had to struggle for something, that ever had to fight for something, this is worth watching. I know what it's like to not feel like you're never going to get a break. And I know what it's like to fight for something and you feel like you're never going to get there or win it or even be successful. And to be honest with you, everyone in this room, I feel, is working for something. And my team is working for something, and we're working for something hard. So what makes it real is that the tears that you guys are going to see, and I can say that because it was so many tears. The fight that you see in us, don't matter the drama you guys see in those sneak peeks and clips. Like, this is real, and that's what makes Detroit who we are, because we're real. You know, we really fight hard in Detroit from us having such a bad reputation. And I feel like we went up there and we had to prove ourselves, because we wasn't just proving ourselves for ourselves, but to our city as well.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it real. So anybody listening out here in Detroit and everywhere around the world, if you live in a city where you're struggling and you feel like you're never going to have a break, we got a break. It's real.
And I want to piggyback off of what she's saying. So in Detroit, right? We fight with each other. I'm gonna be real. We fight with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
like any family.
Yeah. We fight with each other. But okay, I have these two fingers crossed, right?
Okay.
But anybody that outside of Detroit try to come in between us, what's gonna happen? Oh, you gonna get this work. You gonna get this work. You know what I'm saying? We can fight with each other, but we still like this.
We had our ups and downs, but
you know what I'm saying? We still a family.
So I would add
like a squad. We still a family.
Family, right? So I would add to Mike, what Mike and Charmaine are saying is like, this is the first show that I've seen where like Detroit appears to be just as dominant as they really are.
Yes.
So there's so many shows.
Really?
Yeah, there's so many shows where like they try to make Detroit seem like the underdog, when it's like so many beasts and animals in a good way.
Yes.
Like so many people who are like tenacious and build like dope shit and like created like this economy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in what America is today are from like Michigan and Detroit. And like this is the first time where you really see that dominance and that intelligence and that ability to be savvy, to be, quick-witted and all that stuff. You've seen all that stuff roll into one, and you be able to see it in a very smooth way, because you see the charisma. And the thing what they try to do is to try to say like, oh, Detroit is like a place where everyone's like fancy, but there's no like substance. But what you see is strategy in there. You see us sticking together. You see some loud talk, right? Because that's just the aggressive nature of Detroit. But at the end of the day,
a lot of small personalities. It's just a lot of small personalities. Like I can just all the way across the board. It's gonna be real boring. I could just tell right now.
So you're gonna get some of that. So it's the first time where you're gonna see real like men from Detroit, real women from Detroit that are like passionate and aggressive and like out doing something about it. You know what I mean? So
very, very
Can
cool.
I point out one more thing that makes this show different?
Of course.
If you watch a lot of the different reality shows, a lot of these people don't really know each other, and we're coming on here.
That's why I led off with the opening question.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
like we're coming on here as a group of friends. So eliminating your own teammate, who is also someone who you've known for years, is a hard
tough.
thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it gets tough.
Or just like the whole, like when you're getting into it with the other squad, and all of you have to finally come together, even though you're all getting into it, is because you all know each other and you love each other. So it's like it's so much that comes along with us already knowing each other and going on to the show.
Well, and from the screener episode, I mean, that's one of the things that I think is an interesting twist that this show threw at you guys is, okay, so if you're the team that loses, you're the last in the competition, you have to nominate somebody to go home. And then the two other teams vote. But the kicker is whoever you guys nominate gets to then nominate someone else.
Yeah, so it's like backstep,
so that
just to
it's
pick back.
two people up on the chopping block.
Kind of like a backstabbing thing.
And the other teams have to vote between those two.
Right.
That was kind of a unique thing.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the first episode we saw, New Jersey might be dumb. And didn't necessarily use any strategy to it. They reacted emotionally.
100%. And you're going to see Detroit, be aggressive and dominant and run the board in that strategy game. Like, you're going to see it. It's going to be right in front of your face.
I'm sorry, I have to say this again. No one can come between Detroit.
Nothing can stop me.
Nothing can stop me.
Nothing can stop us.
Nothing can stop me.
So, okay, let's talk. I guess let's shift gears for a sec. Outside of the show.
Okay.
I guess, so what's next? What do you guys have going on here in the area? Like, I know you've got stuff coming up this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a quick one around and like, what do you have going on that people ought to know about here in Detroit?
Yeah. So I think I've been blessed to be probably the face of fitness in the state of Michigan. I'm the face of Detroit Pistons race. If you go on their website right now, you see me on their own Jabs gym in downtown Detroit, which is a cardio kickboxing gym, one of the best in the state. There's one in Birmingham that you probably heard about that's been there for about 3 years now. I started running this town Detroit. So I'm just a fitness guy and I'm passionate about it. I want to defeat diabetes and heart disease and all those reasons. And God has blessed me to be able to like live off of like my passion, which is fitness. So that's all I'm about. Is just a jock turned guy who wants to get everybody in shape. So
very cool, Mike. What do you got going on?
So yeah, first I would like to say that before the show, everyone was doing something. Okay, so you're going to see that we're not just on this show to be on the show. This is not our first thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier. Is you guys put your lives and everything you had going on hold to go do this, and now coming back to
exactly. So my name is Mike Merrill, guys. I'm an actor, model. I want to work my way into motivational speaking because I do that kind of well. You know what I'm saying? I inspire a lot of people. That's one of my goals, to inspire people.
Okay.
But I'm an actor. As they like to say, I made it out of Detroit. So I moved to ATL to finish my career. Not finish, continue my career. And now I'm, this show had nothing to do with ATL, but, I have this show. We have this show. And now I'm going to be on 2 TV series and 2 films on network TV with Tier 2 Films.
Very cool.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. And that's going to be coming out next year, 2017. We film starting next month.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Modeling. I do modeling in between, because acting is first for me.
Yeah, nobody, other than us, because we've always said we have faces for radio, nobody in this room is bad looking. Holy crap. Like, they've just, like, peeled you guys out of a modeling and throw,
And by the way,
appreciate that.
Charmaine, I might be one of the jack of all trades because I'm actually moving into singing too because I have a potential voice and someone is working on this.
Hello.
Which leads us to Charmaine, I believe.
Back to you, Charmaine. Back to you, Alicia.
Funny. I don't need to give a whole speech in paragraph about what I do. It's gonna show. But however,
the shade, right?
No shade, sweetheart. It's just
definitely
honesty.
Shade.
I am a artist, like I always say first, and I'm going to say that. Listen, my music is coming. That's all that I can say. I am working on Prime TV, and those that don't understand what Prime TV is, there's a difference from reality TV and Prime.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make Prime. My passion has always been to really make it on the big screen, surpassing reality, because I want to show my talent and what I really have to offer. So moving forward, it's all the doors are opening for me right now. So, you guys just got to stay watching. So follow me on Instagram at Charmaine, CHARMAINE.
Very cool. And then, like I said, I know this weekend there's stuff coming up.
Yes.
Before the show.
I'm Nastasia Young. I do a lot of different things. I like to say that I can do anything in the world because I really can.
Nothing can stop her.
Nothing at all, actually. But I am a model. I'm a model coach. I'm an entertainer. I can do all types of things as far as entertainment, singing, acting, rapping, dancing, anything like that. I also have a production company that I'm a part owner of, and it's Stand Out or Die Productions Company. And I just love doing anything that's creative in general. I do have a model makeover workshop that will be coming out. Not coming out. That I'll be hosting this weekend on the 29th and the 30th. That's part of my grand scheme of things where I would actually like to start a modeling agency.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to just start branching out, traveling all across the United States, teaching new models, and that's going to, help me, form new relationships and just, get better at, coaching and developing models. And hopefully one day, I'll be the next Wilhelmina or Ford Models or something like that.
Hello.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I am Nakia, but I go by Kia B.
Yep.
I am Kia B, exactly how it sounds on Instagram. However, I am also an actress first, model second, soon to be entrepreneur. I have a few things up my sleeves. And just like, I'm going to piggyback off of what Nastasia said.
You guys are reinforcing something we say every week. It's Detroit. Everybody has a side hustle.
Yeah.
There's never just one or three.
Everybody. I feel like I can do anything I put my mind to. Whatever I put my mind to, it gets done, period. So with that being said, I have a few different projects coming up I can't really speak on. I mean, it's nothing, but however, you guys will see.
All right, well, hey, so Last Squad Standing premieres next Tuesday. There are 2 events. One's on the 29th. That one's at
PV Lounge, downtown Detroit.
Okay. And then the one on the 1st, I believe, is at the UAW
Ford building, right next to the Cobo Hall. It's going to be 8 to 11, and it's a complimentary buffet included. So, yes, and you can get your tickets at Eventbrite and #SquadGoals.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I've got the links for the tickets and all that fun stuff.
You had me at buffet.
They had you at complimentary buffet.
I just want them people to know that these are not ratchet events. These are red carpet events. If you come to these parties and think you're going to get in with urban clothes, you have another thing coming.
Please,
you're going to sit home. You have to have upscale dressed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to be just like
there's going to be photographers all
It's a premiere.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
Period.
So
but
it's going to be photographers and videographers all through this thing. So if you want to come in and embarrass yourself, then that's what you're going to do.
Hey, we got sport coats on for a podcast, for crying out loud. I think we'll be all right.
That is true. You're all already dressed up.
Yeah, see, that's the attire we're talking about right there.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, so hey, Last Squad Standing. It's next Tuesday night is the premiere. Oh, Mike, sorry.
No, I just wanted to give my IG real quick.
Do your thing.
So, I'm Mike Merrill, guys. My IG is _MikeMerrill_.
And my Instagram is Nastasia NASTASHIA_.
I'm good to go, guys. Check it out. Huh?
I said, Armand, where do we find you?
Oh, jabsgym.com. Just come and train at the best cardio kickboxing gym in the state. There's tons of reviews on it. You know what I mean? We're just taking it to the next level in downtown Detroit now.
Very cool.
And she's so funny.
Kia B.
Kia is so bashful.
IAMKIAB.
All right, and
Instagram.
And Christian, thanks for coming out and hanging out with Groupknit. Very, very cool episode.
We're in the building.
This went well. And hey, next week we may be broadcasting live from downtown. We'll see what happens.
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
This wraps things up for episode 168 of the ITintheD Show.
Congratulations.
Again, find us online, ITintheD.com. Do us a favor. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here.
Hey.
See you next week. Drive careful. Beat it.
Thank you.
You got your back.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. That was awesome.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so good.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Enemies, see them driven before you, and they hear the lamentation of the women.
Long live Flash! You've saved your ass. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. It's game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth, Ruth.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe, own the truth.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would, Buick put their cars next to, the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just like doing like stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.